Hello, everyone. Melinda Russell here with Let's Talk Racing Live. It is Sunday, July 23rd, 2023. And we're about halfway through the summer, or maybe a little more even. And I can't believe that. It does not make me happy at all because I live in Michigan. And so, what that means, Kinley Reed is my guest, what that means, Kinley, is that the snow is getting closer to my weather in Michigan. And so I that does not make me happy. But my guest tonight is Kinley Reed. I'm going to let Kinley tell you about herself because I think it's always better if the person I'm interviewing tells us a little bit about herself. But I'm always excited to have somebody new on the podcast that I haven't met before. And then I get to learn all about a new person as well. So I'm excited to have Kinley on with us tonight. So, Kinley, why don't you start by telling me a little bit about yourself, your family, where you live, your pets, anything that you want to share?
Um, so I was introduced to four-wheelers when I was 3 years old and started racing when I was 8. I have one dog. Her name is Willow, and I enjoy soccer. I play that as a sport, and my favorite color is blue, and my favorite animal is an elephant.
Oh, that's cool. And so, do you have any brothers or sisters?
Yes, I have one brother and 2 sisters.
Okay, and are they older or younger?
Older.
Okay, so you're the baby of the family?
Yes.
Oh, I'm the baby of my family too, even though I'm old, but I'm still the baby of the family. So that's something that you'll always be able to carry with you, that you can say, I'm the baby of the family. And they always think that the babies of the family got spoiled. I don't think so, but my sisters would have said that because I was so much younger than them that I got spoiled. How about you? Are you spoiled?
Yes.
Yes. Well, that's okay. That's not a bad thing for sure. So, Kinley, you started racing when I think you just said 8 years old. So tell me, how did you get started? Who took you to the track? How did you find an interest in racing?
Well, my brother, he used to race, and he had a daughter that raced. And one day we took my little Polaris to the track, and I just wanted to race so bad. And then my parents surprised me with a four-wheeler.
Oh gosh. How surprised were you? Was it your birthday or Christmas, or they just surprised you with it on a not a special day?
It wasn't a special day. My brother came over, and he brought Aubrey's bike, which is the girl that races. And they told me to come outside, and there it was. It was no special day. They just kind of surprised me.
Oh, that was fun. And what did you think when you saw that?
It amazed me. I didn't really know what it was for because I had never really been introduced to racing bikes that much. So when I went out there, I was just really surprised. And then my dad told me I was able to race, and I was really, really happy.
Yeah, I bet you were. So, did your dad ever race?
No.
No, no, but your brother did. So, that's kind of where you got the racing bug, huh? And does he still race?
No, because he broke his collarbone.
Oh, gosh.
But my cousin does.
Okay. All right. So, it's still in the family for sure. So, tell me about your quad. You race a quad, right? Yeah.
I race a quad, a 70cc, and I also race a shifter.
Okay. So, why don't we start with the quad? Tell me about your quad. What color is it? How fast do you go in it? And then we'll talk about the other one.
My colors are pink, blue, green, and black. And I go really fast. I don't know the exact amount.
Okay. All right. And do you race on kind of a flat track or is it hilly?
Depends. I'm in the East Coast EDT, so we do a lot of different tracks. But most of my tracks they have like jumps, but most
Hmm.
of it's flat.
Okay. And which do you like better, the flat or the jumps?
I like the jumps. It's really fun to just
Yeah.
jump.
I think that would be fun too. That sounds like fun for me. So you said you race in a series. Tell me what that series is again.
East Coast EDT.
Okay. And what does EDT stand for? Do you know?
No.
I don't either. Does your mom know or no? That's okay. We don't have to know. I was just curious.
It stands
So,
for Extreme Dirt Track.
okay, very good. And so if you race in that series, then you go to a lot of different tracks. Do you have a home track where you race
Not
as
really.
well?
Not really. My closest track is Black Ankle.
And how far away is that?
Um, 30 to 45 minutes.
Okay, so not terribly far away. Some people go a lot farther than that to race, and so that's not too bad for you to go. So that's the quad, and then what did you? Does it have a number? What number are you?
007.
Oh, that's a cool number for sure. Did you pick that number, or did somebody else help you with it?
I picked the number.
Yeah. And why did you pick 007?
So my dad's baseball number was 7, and ever since it was my lucky number, and somebody had already took 7 and 07, so we decided 007.
Okay. All right. Very good. So tell me about the what's the other I can't remember what you said the other thing that you raced. Tell me about that.
It's a shifter. It's a Yamaha Blaster. It's a 90.
Okay. So what's the difference between a shifter and a quad?
It it's it, well, they're both quads, but like it's more shifting and more action with the shifter.
Okay. And so if you do you like the shifter more than the other one?
Well, it just clicked in me learning how to like get control of it and more
Yeah.
of how to like stay in the power band. So I haven't really decided yet because I haven't got much experience.
Okay. So do you race both of them on the same weekends or not always?
Yes, on the same weekends.
Okay. All right. So what's the best finish that you've had?
First,
First, how many
yes.
firsts have you had?
Um, I don't really know.
A lot or just a couple?
A lot.
A lot. And how old are you now, Kinley? You started when you were 8. How old are you?
10.
10. So in 2 years you've had a lot of first place finishes. That's very cool. Is
Yes.
there a win that you had that is more means more to you than any others?
Probably my first national race. When I won that, it was like the best feeling ever.
Yeah. And do you race against a lot of other girls or mostly boys?
Mostly boys.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So what do they say? Are they unhappy or do excuse me, do they treat you okay even though you beat them?
Yeah, they just say good job.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I like knowing that the boys are treating you well. That's good. So, in your quads, do you race in a different like class and then you'll move up to a different class when you get older and that or how does that work? I'm still learning a lot about people that race quads. So, you're going to have to educate me, Kinley.
Like, what do you mean?
So,
Like
like
what?
the quads that you're racing now, will you won't always race those quads at some point will you move up to something that's faster and bigger and that kind of thing?
Yes, I will.
Yeah. And about how old will you be when that happens?
I don't really know. My shifter, it depends. Like, once I get really good at it, we're probably going to move me up to a 150, but I have one more year on my CBT.
Okay, all right, and then you'll move up to something bigger. Do you
Yes.
know Kenzie Wright?
Yes.
You do. She says yay Kinley in the messages. And then she says Brittany Wright, is that her daughter?
I don't. It's her mom.
Oh, that's her mom. Okay, all right. And Drew Wright. So do they race as well?
I know Kinsey does.
Okay. All right. So she's on, she's watching. So, hey, Kenzie, we're glad that you are watching tonight. So, who helps you with your quads? When they need service or when they need something done, do you try to help and learn about them or is it who helps?
My dad. I'm not really. I don't not into that all mechanic stuff.
You're not. At some point, do you think you're going to try to learn a little more about that though?
Yeah, because I will one day have the responsibility to have to take care of it by myself, unless I want to pay
Right.
somebody.
Yeah, exactly. So you'll start to learn probably as you get a little bit older for sure. Yeah. Have you ever had any kind of accident that happened where you flipped over, rolled over, got hurt, anything like that?
Yeah, my worst accident was at Salisbury. I flipped and just hurt my knee, but that's the worst I've got.
Oh, well, you were lucky then. Yeah. So, were you scared after you flipped?
Yeah, it's just like it's a shock feeling.
Yeah. You're not expecting it, and then all of a sudden, upside down you go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, Kinley, Marianne Dunlap, do you know her?
Yes, that's my grandma.
Okay, she says, I'm so proud of you. We grandmas are very proud of our granddaughters. I'm proud of my granddaughter too. She races. So, do you have anybody that would be considered a marketing partner, somebody that helps fund your quad racing?
Do you mean like sponsors?
Yes.
Yeah, I have FXR Racing, Chris and Colleen Fox, um, Wrath Racing, JSR Motorsports, um, 4X Carbon, and then Singe Graphics and GeForce.
Okay, you've got quite a few sponsors. So, you're 8 years old and you've got that, a handful of sponsors already. Did you go and talk to them about being your sponsor, or are those people that knew you and reached out and wanted to help sponsor?
We applied.
You asked you went to them and asked them to be your sponsor.
Yeah,
Yeah. And are those companies like local companies there in your area where you live?
just Chris and Colleen.
Okay. All right. So, how do you reach out to your sponsors and let them know how your racing's going? Do you do that?
My mom does that.
Okay, your mom's in charge of that. Good. That's a good thing for moms to do for sure. So, do you ever have a bad day at the racetrack?
Yes, and just when I really like to place top, like first. So when I get second, it's kind of just like heartbreaking.
Oh, so when if you have a bad day, how do you get out of that? How do you talk to yourself, or maybe you talk to your mom? How do you get to feeling better about it?
Well, my parents they kind of just like they kind of just tell me like just the points like they might be ahead but not far, and they just tell me if I win or if I get this place then I can do better. So it's kind of
Yeah.
just like, it makes me not as nervous.
Okay. All right. Good. So, what's your favorite part about racing your quads?
Probably like just passing people and just being able to go fast without like a speed limit or anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, are the other people that you race, are they pretty much your age? Are you in a certain age bracket? Like you're not racing people that are a lot older than you, are you?
I mean, it depends. I don't like. There's been a few people on quads that are older than me, but most
Okay.
of them in my age.
Okay. I figured they wouldn't let like really like teenagers in that probably race against you. That probably wouldn't be fair. So, what's the thing that was the hardest for you to learn about driving a quad and racing?
um, I don't really know. Probably just like to stay in the gas, then like because when you don't stay, it deducts time. So kind of just like learning how to like maneuver my bike to where I don't have to let off so much.
Okay. All right. So kind of put the pedal to the metal and go instead of being a little bit nervous and like letting up on the gas, right?
Yes,
So do you have any fans that come to watch you?
yes. Some people from my church.
Okay. And does your family live close? Do they all come to watch?
Not my whole family. Some people live in Wilmington and then Rock Hill,
Okay.
so they can't make it.
Okay. But you still have people that you come to watch for sure. Have
Yes,
you made a lot of friends at the racetrack or through your series? People that you
yes,
would call good friends?
yes.
And how does that make you feel? Are they people that you really look forward to seeing? And just tell me a little bit about how that makes you feel to have those friends?
It makes me feel good because, like, you know, when you have those times at track where you're just like sad or something, they can like help, and you also you're it just gives you like you can go hang out with them and stuff,
Mhm.
and it just like it's really fun.
Yeah, it is. And you look forward to seeing them when you go to the track, don't you? Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So you're only 8 years old, and you probably don't really know what the future holds. None of us do. But what would you like to be? How would you like to be racing? Let's say when you're in your 20s. Are you still going to want to be racing quads, bigger quads, faster quads? What do you look forward to in your racing career?
Just being able to get faster.
Okay. Yeah, faster. And are as you get older and faster, are the tracks you race on more difficult as far as like some of the ones with the jumps, or will it be some of the same tracks you're racing on now?
Um, no, they're not any difficult. I just have to learn the track.
Okay. So adults race on the same tracks that you race on, just like other kinds of motorsports, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you're a little girl in racing. You race mostly against boys. Have you had any unexpected challenges or benefits from being a girl in racing? Do you get a lot more attention from people because you're a girl, or do you get people that think you shouldn't be racing because you're a girl? Anything like that?
No. Some people are surprised that I do really good, but on some races,
Hmm.
but that's pretty much it.
Okay. So, do you think this is a good sport for girls to get involved in?
Yes.
Okay. And why would that be?
I don't know. I just think that girls can do the same thing as boys can do, and I really like being on the mud with a fast four wheeler.
So, do you get really dirty when you're racing quads?
It depends.
Yeah. Do you ever race when it's like really muddy?
Yes.
Is that more fun, or is it more fun when it's dry?
Probably when it's dry.
Okay. Yeah. Cuz muddy, you could probably get stuck or whatever, but I would think you'd get really dirty if it was muddy, but anyway. So where's tell me some of the places where you go to race. Are they all close around, where you live, or do you travel like to different states?
Well, I don't travel to different states, or I travel to different states, um, but I have like the closest track at Black Ankle, and like the tracks that I used to race at are like an hour and something away, but the longest I've traveled is 9 hours.
Oh wow. And where did you go for that far away?
Tennessee.
Tennessee. Okay. Have you ever come to Michigan to race?
No.
No, not yet. I have to tell you, I don't really know of any, at least any place around where I live. I live in Kalamazoo, that races quads, and so that's one reason that I wanted to interview some girls that race quads because I'm learning about it. Because I just haven't. I think it's more on the eastern part of the country, and the South maybe, because we don't have those kind of races here. So I'm learning from you, Kinley, all about quad racing. So you're 8 years old. What do your classmates think about you racing?
Um, they're very surprised, and they just think it's cool.
I'm sorry, no, you're not 8. You're 10 years old, right?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. You started when you were 8. Sorry. You're 10 years old. And so do they do the boys sometimes I have girls say, well, the boys make fun of me because they don't think I'm really an athlete or it's not really a sport or whatever. But are your classmates pretty cool about wanting to know more about you racing, or you don't really talk about it?
We don't really talk about it a lot.
Okay.
Some people they'll ask me like if they knew I'm racing, they'll be like, "How'd your race go?" And I'll just tell them it went good.
Okay. All right. So let's go back to our comments here. So Drew Wright says, way to go, Kinley. And Brittany Wright said, she's the best. And then Kenzie Wright says she is most definitely the one to watch on the track. And then Michael Reed said that there are NEEDT races in Michigan. Do you know what those are? Oh, well then you might have to come to Michigan and race sometime. It's a nice place to come in the summer. Thomas Pickle says awesome. Do you know Thomas Pickle?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that's cool. You've got quite a crowd that watching you tonight, Kinley. So that's really good. So are there kids that are younger than you that are racing where you are? And do you ever like try to help them or talk to them? Do they look up to you because you're older and you're such a good racer?
I don't really try to talk. I have if I know them really well and they had a bad time, I might tell them something of how they could improve.
Okay. All right. And how does that make you feel to be able to help kids that are younger?
It makes me feel good.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you want them to do well too, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So, social media, hopefully you're not on it too much at 10 years old, but does your mom, you have a racing page, or how would people be able to find you and find out where you're going to be racing or how the race went on social media?
We do Reed Racing on Facebook, and my mom posts everything.
Okay. She's your communications and PR person then, right? Yeah, that's good. So Reed Racing on Facebook, and is that what you use mostly? Is that
Yes.
okay? All right. So before I always ask some just fun little quick answer questions, but before we do that, is there anything, Kinley, that we haven't talked about that you want to share about your racing, or maybe a win that you had, or anything at all about your career in quad racing so far?
Well, last year I got 3 championships, and this year I got offered to be in a calendar.
Oh, that's very cool. And what kind of calendar was it?
It's one of Brandy's.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's pretty cool that you were in a calendar for sure. And 3 championships. So was that 3 different years or 3 different tracks, or how did you win 3 championships?
I raced through classes.
3 classes. Okay. All right. And is that all in the same series that you were mentioning?
I actually that time I wasn't racing series.
Okay. All right. So that's pretty impressive that you've already, at the age of 10, got 3 championships under your belt. That's pretty cool. Ashley Gaddy said she is great at anything she touches. Susan Miner says, very proud of her and her accomplishments. She is a very determined young lady. Love you. I must be somebody that knows you pretty well. And Matt Robertson says, great watching her rip it at the track. That's a fun comment for sure. Thanks everybody for being on and listening. If anybody has any questions for Kinley, just put it in the chat and we'll put it in the comments and we'll ask her any questions that you have. But now we're going to do kind of some fun questions. These are the quick answer questions. So you just, whatever comes to your mind, and it'll be easy. You're going to know the answers. And if there's something that you don't, like one of the questions that doesn't pertain to you, just say, I don't do that, or I don't know, or whatever. So what is your favorite food or restaurant?
I don't really have one.
You don't? Not chicken nuggets or anything? What do you do on race day? Do you like to eat something special on race day, or do you not eat? What's race day like?
Well, on the way we always get sheets.
Okay, I know what that is. Okay. Yeah, so that's that's a tradition. Is there anything else that you always do on race day?
When me and my dad are at the line, we always pray.
Okay, good. Good. I'm glad to hear that. That's a good tradition. So, what's your favorite beverage?
I don't really know. Maybe like Gatorade or
Okay.
something like
All
that.
right. What's your favorite racetrack food?
Walking tacos.
Okay. And you already told us your favorite color is blue, right? And your favorite animal is the elephant. So you already told us two things. So, vacations. Do you have a favorite place that you like to go or somewhere that you would like to go in the future?
Not really.
No, no, not Disney World or anywhere like that.
I would like to go there.
You would like to go there? That would be fun, wouldn't it? My daughter is a travel agent and she specializes in trips to Disney. She knows everything about Disney. So if you ever decide to go, you'll have to get a hold of me and I'll connect you to my daughter. What's your favorite candy or snack?
Oh, I don't know. There's so many.
There's so many. Think of one that if you went in the store and you only had enough money to buy one thing, what would it be?
Talkies.
Okay. What's your favorite place to shop?
Target.
Oh, I love Target. Me too. Do you have a favorite racetrack, either where you've raced or one that you like to go to watch other people race?
Tennessee, just passing through track.
Okay. Do you have any favorite movies or actor or actresses?
No.
No? How about what kind of music do you listen to?
Christian.
Okay. And do you have a favorite sports team that's not racing related?
No, but I do have a favorite sport that's not racing related.
Okay, what is that?
Soccer.
Soccer. Yeah, because you play soccer. So are you watching the Women's World Cup soccer?
Yes, I do watch it.
Oh gosh, I'm really not a soccer like fan so much because my girls never played soccer, but I am hooked on watching that uh, world championship. That's a lot of fun. Do you have a favorite driver, professional driver, or somebody that you look up to?
It would probably have to be Kinsey.
Okay, all right. What's your favorite holiday?
Oh, probably Christmas.
Okay. And do you have a favorite TV or streaming show like Netflix or anything, or is it the Disney Channel? What's your favorite show or to watch?
I don't have one.
You don't have one? Okay. Is that because you are more interested in, being outside, working on the race car, doing things?
Being outside, but some days when I in here, I watch different things on different channels.
Okay. All right. So what's your favorite thing to celebrate?
Oh, probably my birthday.
All right. And as a little girl, did you play with cars or dolls?
Dolls.
Okay. All right. That's all of those questions I have. I don't see that anybody has asked you any questions on here. So, Kinley, what else should I have talked to you about that we haven't talked about other than your championships? I'm glad you mentioned that. Is there anything else that we should know about Kinley Reed that I haven't asked about?
Not that I can think of.
No, not that you can think of. So, this is Kinley's first podcast. And Kinley, I think you're doing an amazing job because you're answering all the questions. And that's the main thing that is your job on a podcast is to do that. And so, we're going to get on to Facebook and find Reed Racing. And that way we can follow you and see how you're doing, where you're racing, and all that. So, Marianne Dunlap, did you say that was your grandma?
Yes.
She said Kinley also sings. You
Yes,
didn't
I
tell me
do.
that. So
I do.
you love to sing? Do you
Yes.
have a favorite song that you like to sing, or what
Um.
kind of songs do you sing?
We do. I do a lot, but mainly Christian.
Okay. All right, that's good. Lots of good Christian music out there. I love the Christian radio station. That's what I listen to in the car when I either listen to the NASCAR station or the country station or the Christian station. I just kind of bop around between those three for sure. That's good because singing is something you're going to be able to do all the rest of your life. And so that's a good thing. Maybe we'll see you on American Idol or one of those shows someday.
No.
No, you don't think so? You'll stick to racing?
Yes.
Yes. And just maybe sing at church.
What?
Maybe you'll just be a singer at church.
Yes.
Yeah, that's more safe, isn't it? For sure. Well, Marianne, thank you for sharing about Kinley that she also sings. Are you hiding any other secrets from me that things you like to do? No, for sure.
Well, I do like to hunt.
Oh, you like to hunt. So does your dad likes to hunt?
Yes.
Yes. And what kind of things do you hunt? Deer hunt or what kind of hunting?
Deer, squirrel, and we used a rabbit.
Okay. All right. So we have a lot of deer here in Michigan. Like they walk around where there's a field right next to where I live, and we'll see deer all the time out in that field, like 3, 4, 5 deer. So we have a lot of deer right here in Michigan. Um, okay, that's great. And so anything else? Ask mom. Is there anything else that we can try to pull out of you about Kinley? Mom, did we forget anything?
I have raced, I think, 80 races and have podiumed. Um, I have raced 83 races and have finished 65 of them.
Wow. Now you
Which,
know, Kinley, that's a very high percentage. Did you realize that?
yes.
Most people don't do that well. So you must be exceptional compared to maybe some of the other kids that race against you. So I think you're somebody we're going to have to keep our eye on, right? Are you shy when I say that? So will you promise to stay in touch with me and let me know how you do and so I can follow you? And you know, one of the things that I always tell my people that I interview is, you know, I can't begin to go and meet everybody and watch everybody that I interview race, but that is kind of my goal. If I'm ever in an area where if I ever come down your way, then I'll be looking up or reaching out and saying, Kinley, are you going to be racing a certain time? Because then I'll be able to come and watch. And that's my goal. Next summer, I want to do a lot more of that. I want to do some traveling and maybe have a little road trip where I go and then I can meet and watch some of you gals race. So I'll look forward to that. And you definitely need to stay in touch with me. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So Brittany Wright put you know how on Facebook you put the 100. So like you did 100%, you did great. And Barbara Sams said awesome with the hand clapping emoji. So thank you to all of you that came on and listened tonight to Kinley. Kinley, I don't have any other questions for you, but I just want to tell you, I think you did a great job. And I really appreciate that you took the time to be on and that you were willing to come on and do a podcast when you'd never done one before because they get easier as you go on. Stacy Brock says, we love our Kinley. You look surprised when you see these people have comments, but that's nice. Nice of them to do that. So I just want to thank you for being on. And Brett's usually on with us, but he didn't make it tonight. But one of the things that he always does, we always feel like motorsports, no matter what kind of motorsport you're in, is a family. And you make friends that become family when you're part of a motorsports group. Well, the Women's Motorsports Network is a group and it's also a family. And so now that we've interviewed you, we always say at the end, welcome to the family. So now you're part of our family. Okay. Jody Smith says she's an amazing girl. Love her. That's pretty cool. Thank you, Jody, for being on. Well, Kinley, again, thanks for being on tonight. I appreciate that. Please stay in touch and let me know how you're doing, and then we'll be able to share it with the people that come on and listen. How's that? Okay.
Good.
All right. Good night. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Kinley Reed. So, these young girls, these are the future of Women's Motorsports Network. They're the future of quad racing. They're the future of racing, period. What are we going to do without these kids coming up, girls and boys alike? And so we have to be encouraging to these kids. We have to let them know that they are important to us, that we're proud of them for what they're doing. We have to encourage them. We have to show them, the right way to do things in racing and not, I just watched the NASCAR race end right before I got on the podcast. And as most of you know, I'm a huge NASCAR fan. And so I try not to miss. And if I have to, I record them. But I was watching it, and, I have my favorite drivers, but really I like almost all of them. I try not to be too much favorite of any one, other than Kyle Busch has always been my favorite. But when it comes to the rest of them, I like pretty much all of them. And I don't like to see dirty racing. And I was really, it was a great race. Lots of good racing today. I think the racing this year has been some of the best in the last several years, for sure. But to have a really good race and then have somebody at the end, Denny Hamlin, he says he didn't touch him, but according to the TV, it looked like he did touch him, moved him up the wall and wrecked him right near the end after Kyle was leading. And Denny went on to win the race. And the boos at that Pocono were unbelievable. Really, really loud boos for Denny Hamlin. And I don't necessarily agree with that either, but I can see why that happened, because it wasn't a very good way to end a race. And it's not a way to win that you should be proud of. And so that's not a good example for our kids, which is, why all you parents out there, you grandparents, everybody that's involved with a young person that's racing, or even, maybe it's your husband or something, we have to maintain integrity in our sport. It can't just be all about the wins. It's great to win. It's fun to be in the winner's circle. It's, that's what everybody their goal is, to win. But at what cost? And so it's like any other sport. We have to teach our kids so that as they grow up, they're good sports about losing. They're good sports when they win, because that's important as well. And that winning at all costs is not what we should be doing. And so, yeah, I get on the bandwagon about that. But I was a little disgusted with the end of the race, as were 99% of the people in the stands, as were some of the TV announcers. Kyle Petty wasn't very happy about how the race ended either. Not because he doesn't like Denny Hamlin. That has nothing to do with it. It's because of how he won the race. So let's remember that we need to keep our young people, we need to show them how to win and how to lose, and keep our sport a good sport to be involved in. So Bad Addison, I just love her. She's, I've got so many girls that I just think the world of. But Bad Addison Racing, get on and follow her. I tell you, you'll enjoy that. You'll enjoy just following along with her. But July 21st says, what a night. I took the win in my heat race. Woohoo! And then she took home 6 in the feature and a lot of bent parts. It was some intense racing, like a demo derby at the town fair. But she said, congratulations to the winners on your well-deserved wins, and great job to all the drivers who hit the track. And then she goes on to say, onward and upward. And as always, thank you to my sponsors and supporters. Okay. So she might have had every right to be upset. She was sixth in the feature. But she congratulated all the other winners. That's what I'm talking about. Her parents are doing it right. And so, Bad Addison, we love you. We're proud of you, win or lose, just like we are all of you gals that are part of the Women's Motorsports Network. And so thanks for having that or sending that over to me. I appreciate it. If you would like to be mentioned on our show on Sunday night, if you send a note or tag me in your Facebook post or whatever it might be, we'll try to mention you on Sunday night and tell how you did, if you won, you lost, or whatever happened. So that's it for that. So next week we have Hannah Rickards, which is Hannah and I have been trying to get together for quite some time. I'm excited about having her on. She was previously with the World of Outlaws. Now she's with NHRA, and she has a great story, and I can't wait to share with all of you about her. So tune in next week. We're going to have Hannah Rickards on. And until then, hopefully you have a good week. If you're racing, much success to you. And if I don't see you anywhere else, hopefully one day I'll see you at the track. Good night.